episodes we witnessed in Attack on Titan, the final season. Who would have thought probably one of my top 3 favorite episodes would have been this one this week? Guys, if you have been watching and listening to my reviews for the past 2 weeks, you know I've been expecting dinner with the Brauss family. How can this dinner occasion really turn out? And I decided for this review I want to dress up for the occasion, and let's see if we can get at least 70 likes on this video, because that dinner scene exceeded my expectations with what the hell went down. Niccolo, let's talk about Niccolo first. Is he crazy? And I want to know in the comments down below, would you have let those kids go if you were in Niccolo's situation, or would you have pulled the trigger? Let me know. Who would have thought the biggest person that came out of this episode leaving me speechless was Sasha's father, where Sasha's father tells everyone it's up to us adults to shoulder the sins of the past. And out of all the people in Attack on Titan to essentially break the cycle of revenge and hatred, it's him. Wow, incredible. And he used this metaphor of hunting and how Sasha was a hunter and she was basically in the forest all her life. Sooner or later, she was going to be hunted. I'm probably paraphrasing that here. But what I'm trying to get at is Sasha's father was saying we have to set the example on how to become better. And Mia, are you truly thinking this way, or is this something you've been taught to think? But the performances throughout that entire dinner scene was amazing. Niccolo's VA was fantastic. Gabi's VA was fantastic, and Kaya's performance, guys, that sheer horror. I'm wearing a button down and I'm getting goosebumps thinking about it. The sheer horror in that screech when she was looking at Gabi. I felt that intensity where she was looking at her, holding onto the knife, and it wasn't for Mikasa, Gabi probably would have been long gone, and I know a lot of people would have been cheering for that, but the thing that broke me from that scene was Kaya on how Sasha was the person that got her out of this rut. Sasha was the role model that she wanted to become, and now you befriend someone who took out your role model. How else would you react if you were in Kaya's situation? Niccolo's a bit different because he's an adult and he was acting in the moment. But Kaya, I would have said nothing if Kaya got her revenge on Gabi. It's really unfortunate, and she was shattered, and that moment broke me. And if that wasn't enough, during the dinner scene, we find out that Niccolo, he isn't so much of a jerk to John and Connie for no merit. He basically saved them from not drinking Zeke's spinal fluid, because Zeke's spinal fluid was in all the fancy wine that Yelena ordered Niccolo and probably some other people to give to the high-ranking officers. And why is that very important? Well, because if you come back to the beginning of this episode, we see how Zeke's spinal fluid was used in this gas container on all of Ragako Village, and all the people in Ragako Village. Now we got that mystery cleared up. And this is another reason why Isayama's writing is so brilliant. This is something you really didn't even need an explanation on. I'm sure some people were thinking about how did the people in Ragako Village turn into Titans, and I really thought we weren't going to get that answer, but here we go. We get the explanation. We know the importance of Zeke's spinal fluid and what it could do to people. A lot of high-ranking officers drank that wine. What does it leave for people on Hanji's side? Because it looked like Flock and the Jaegerists had something to do with it, or at least knew enough of the plan to not bother drinking the wine. And speaking of drinking the wine, did Falco drink the wine? He got his head bashed in pretty hard by Niccolo, which that scene was visceral as all hell. But did Falco drink any of it? I mean, I'd imagine he just passed out, but from the pool of blood that was happening, I couldn't really tell if Falco actually drank it. So let me know in the comments down below if you guys think Falco drank the blood. But if he did, that would now, well, I guess indirectly give him the wish that he wanted to maybe protect Gabi if Zeke ever yells and Falco turns into a Titan. Oh my god, I don't even want to know how that thing is gonna play out. But regardless, let's go ahead and cut back to the conversation Zeke had with Levi. Levi is showing a lot of distrust and hatred towards Zeke, rightfully so, because as Zeke is explaining on what happened to Ragako Village, Zeke says this with a stone cold face, and Levi's like, this is why I hate you, man. You have no regret for your actions. You don't really care. You want to help out the Eldians and everyone in Paradise Island, but I don't see you showing any remorse for what you're doing. And Zeke really counteracted that by saying, well, if I didn't do it, then Marley would have known the plan that I was scheming up all along. And I'm here thinking, okay, how full of shit is Zeke? I really want to know if you guys can trust Zeke or not. Levi is informed that Premier Zachary and a lot of people died, and the Jaegerists are trying to hunt down Zeke to be reunited with Eren so they can do whatever plan that Zeke and Eren has been planning since the beginning of this season. And one of the best shots in this episode was when Levi was having that monologue, and you see all the cuts from the forest from the previous season when Levi and his squad saved Eren, which interestingly enough, if you can recall, that Zeke was telling Levi, you weren't really that popular, were you? And Levi said, I was popular enough. That makes much more sense to me now, because the people he was popular enough with were the people in his crew, his original squad back in season 1 that were annihilated from any other people in his squad that he accumulated over the years, all now wiped out to protect Eren. And how bizarre and how frustrating is that from Levi's perspective, that Eren was the person saved for the hope of humanity. Very deep and powerful stuff. I really like this characterization of Levi, because Levi is this calm, collected, cool person, but this is the first episode, I would say, where we really see a vulnerable side to him, and he's more multifaceted than I originally thought. Fantastic scene with Levi and that whole forest stuff. The Brauss dinner scene was fantastic from start to finish. My jaw was on the floor, and now that we know that the high-ranking officials drank Zeke's spinal fluid, the episode ends with Eren almost causing himself to transform, and he tells Mikasa and Armin, sit down, we all need to have a talk, and Gabi's right there, front and center of it all. So guys, what did you think about this episode? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comments down below. If you got some value and entertainment from this video, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe to my channel for more anime content. My name is DJ Miles, and as I always say, to be continued, take care.